Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Echo Stretch. In this video, we're going to go ahead and copy over a save game that we downloaded from the internet or maybe got from a friend and we want to use it. As you can see, the save that I do have is just a default save. I just jumped on the game and created a save that is required to do this process. So you can see I'm only at 0%, but we'll go ahead and just jump right into it. It is a little bit of a video. It can get confusing at times, but I'll try to explain the best I can. So we'll go ahead and close out of the game now that we do have a save created. And I've already went ahead and did the jailbreak, but once you do have it, we'll go into our settings, go up to our goal 10, and we need to enable our FTP. Just take note of the IP address. We'll enable our bin loader server as well. And then we'll go ahead and back into there. We'll go ahead and launch our host that we're using. We're using Nasky's host. And from here, we're going to go ahead and enable Orbis's toolbox. Go ahead and select it. And we can go ahead and hit OK. So we'll go ahead and back out of here just for now. And we'll take note of the title ID. Wait for that to disappear. There we go. So it's CUSA17722. If that does not come up for you, you can go over to Settings. You can go into Orbis's Toolbox and go down to Orbis's Toolbox Settings and just show title ID labels. And then you can go ahead and save it, so that way it is saved next time you go ahead and load Orbis's Toolbox. So we'll back out of there. Now that we do know the title ID and we do have our save game already created, we can go ahead and launch our browser again for the final time. And this time we're going to go ahead and load PS4 debug. Go ahead and select it and payload sent. Now that we have that all done, we can go ahead and jump over to the computer and start the process. Okay, so now that we're over to the computer, we will need to download PS4 Save Mounter for 9.00. I've already went ahead and downloaded it and extracted it. It's only a small file, so it shouldn't take too long at all. We'll also need our save file that we downloaded from the internet or got from a friend or whatnot. We'll go ahead and open it up. You can see that we do have our two save files here, as well as a decrypted save. I won't really get into the decrypted save part. It does make things a lot easier when it does come with a decrypted save, but for the video we'll just stick with the main saves. So we'll go ahead and put that up there, and we'll go ahead and open up our FTP program. I'm using Flash FXP, but any FTP program will work. Go ahead and hit Quick Connect, and we'll type in our IP address, which is 10.0.0.223, and it is port 2121. Go ahead and hit connect, and we're going to go into the user directory, our home directory, and we're going to select the user for our account. So it is right here. I'll go ahead and select it and go into save data. Now if we take note of the title ID, which is 17722, we go ahead and select it over here, and here we go. Here's our saves. Now what we need to do is match them up, so we can see our save, our autosave right here and right here. They are the ones that we are focused on. I will try to explain this the best I can. I know it's a little hard to follow along, but I'll go a little slow, and hopefully we can get everybody understanding everything. So what we need to do is take the decrypted file out of these saves and put it in these saves. I know it sounds a little difficult, but it's actually pretty easy once you do get the hang of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder on our desktop or wherever you want to create your folder. We're going to name it MM for Miles Morale, and we'll call it backup. So what we're going to do is create a backup of our saves. I'd like to create a backup of everything that's here. It is not required, but just in case you make a mistake, you do have a full backup of all the saves. It doesn't take long to transfer them over, and once we do have everything set up and we know the save does work, the one that we downloaded, then you can go ahead and delete that folder as you won't need it anymore. So now that we do have it backed up, we can go ahead and minimize our FTP program. We're going to go ahead and open up our save mounter. And we can close out that folder as we don't need it anymore. I already have my IP address in there, but if you don't, you can go ahead and type in your IP address. We don't need to hit send payload because we've already launched it, the PS4 debug through the host that we were using. So we'll go ahead and hit connect. We'll ignore that email, spam. Go ahead and hit setup. And you can see that it does grab our user account. Now we'll hit get games. And we're going to match up the title ID with our game selection. So it's 17722, so we'll go ahead and hit the pop-down menu, select it, and then we'll hit search. Now it does come up with 3 save files, which is our preference, our autosave, and our manual save. So we are using autosaves over here. For the video, we'll just stick with the autosaves. And then we're going to go ahead and hit mount. And it should say mount it down here, and then we're going to go ahead and hit on mount. That is a very important step in order to get this process to work. But once you do have it on mounted again, we'll go ahead and open up our FTP program. And we'll back out of here. We're going to go ahead and transfer our downloaded saves onto our PlayStation. So we'll go ahead and transfer them over. And when asked to overwrite, we'll just say overwrite all. Okay, and once that is done, we can go ahead and minimize our FTP program. We're going to go ahead and mount. And it should say save has been mounted. So we'll go ahead and open up our FTP program again. And we'll go ahead and back out of there, straight to our root directory. So all the way to the beginning. And then we're going to go into our mount folder. And then our PFS folder. And you can see that our save is here. Then we'll go ahead and open it. And let's create a folder over here. Since we already got a decrypted folder there, we'll just make a folder and we'll just call it dsave. There, perfect. So if you take a look at your decrypted save, this save is actually the same as this here save. That's why it makes it a little easier when you can download the decrypted save, because then you can go ahead and skip this whole process because you've already got the decrypted save. But we'll go ahead and download this. What I like to do is download everything. Sometimes you go ahead and open up a save and it doesn't have anything. It's just an empty save. So I like to grab it all. So we'll go ahead and select it all and transfer. And then once we do open up our other save, if we don't need the sys folder, then we can just leave it alone and just copy over the decrypted save. So once we do have that done, we can go ahead and back out of there. We can go back into our user account and our home directory, and then select our user, and then save data, and then back into our particular save. So we'll go ahead and back out of here, back out of there, come all the way back to our backup. And before we transfer anything over, what we're going to do is open up Save Mounter, and we're going to go ahead and hit On Mount. It's very important to unmount before we transfer over any saves. So once it does say Save Unmounted, we can go ahead and minimize that. And we're only looking to replace the particular files that we've been using. So we go ahead and select the autosave.bin, as you can see over here, the autosave, and then the SD image autosave. So we go ahead and select both of them. There we go. And then we can go ahead and transfer them. When asked to overwrite, just say overwrite all. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and minimize our Flash FXP and open up our mounter. So we'll go ahead and mount it. And you can see that the save has been mounted. So we'll go ahead and open up our Flash FXP. And we're going to go ahead and back out of our backup, go into our Spider-Man, and go into our title ID, and then go into our dsave. So this is our backup that we took from the downloaded save. So we'll go ahead and back out of here, all the way back to the root directory, and go into our mount, PFS, and go into our save. Now it is very important that we go ahead and hit refresh just to make sure. And as you can see, everything is there. So what we're going to do from here, we're just going to go ahead and copy over our decrypted save. In this case, we do not need our system folder, but in some cases you may see that there is no system folder and you need to do is to copy that over. So we'll go ahead and just copy over this one, and we'll hit overwrite. Once that is done, we're going to go ahead and back out of there. As we don't need our FTP program anymore, we can go ahead and hit unmount. It is very important to unmount as well. And save has been unmounted. So that's basically it for that step, guys. We just need to jump over to the PS4. I hope I explained it slowly enough that everybody can understand. I know it does get confusing, taking saves from saves and whatnot. But let's go ahead and jump over to the PS4. Okay, so now that we're over to the PS4, we can go ahead and launch our Spider-Man. It does take a little bit to load in. It doesn't let us skip any of the intro. But yeah, we should get in there pretty soon. We'll just give it a few moments here. I think it takes about 20 seconds to go through the whole process. But once we do get in, we can go ahead and test the game just to make sure that everything works good. Okay, so it's loading now. And we should be able to hit X any moment now. There we go, hit X, and you can see that our save is there and it's 100%. We are level 20. So we'll go ahead and select it. We'll open it up. We'll hit continue. And we'll just confirm our save does work. Okay, it shouldn't take too long to load. There we go. Okay, so you can see that we do have one of the special costumes on. Our levels look like they're up. Let's go ahead and hit our, I'm not even sure the button. I always call it a spacebar button. But we'll go ahead and hit that big button. And you can see that our stats are all full. We do have extra resources as well. But our save did work. So if you did like the video, guys, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.